Hello everyone, this is Kaiser War here, and I was debating whether or not to make this video earlier or later, but I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Legends Arceus, and I really wanted to talk about it more on my channel. Now that I've owned it and played it for the past it's almost been about 3 months. It's been 2 months, so yeah. I bought when the game, I think I bought it the day the game came out because I had COVID at the time and I had to go send someone else to go get the copy for me. So yeah, it was a pain. But the point is, I played the game. I love Pokemon. I'm just gonna get that out of the way right now. I love Pokemon. I will defend this series, even though it makes some very questionable decisions. And the people who run the Pokemon Company and Game Freak and Nintendo, they make very questionable decisions that piss me off. But Pokemon has always been a series I loved even since I was younger. It's not just a nostalgic factor, I just really love this series. And I was really hyped for Pokemon Legends Arceus. I was also hyped for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, but the hype for that game kind of died down knowing how that turned out. But Legends Arceus was one I was really hopeful for. I wanted to see what it was going to turn out to be. I wanted to see what it was going to be all about. I like the idea of, Pokemon taking on this different formula because people have always said Pokemon has been stale for years. And while I can't exactly agree with them, I can definitely say that yes, Pokemon has been doing kind of the same thing for years. And again, some series do that, but they do enough to shake it up so it won't be the exact same series all the time. Pokemon's not the exact same series, again, but it has the same basic structure in regards of, at least having 6 Pokemon, going to a gym, being an evil team, being the Elite Four. Sometimes they shake that up, but not too often outside of, a new region, new Pokemon region, new mechanics, stuff like that. So I can understand why people felt that Pokemon was a little stale to them. But I think Legends Arceus is a perfect shake-up for people who wanted to play Pokemon or people who's getting a Pokemon for the very first time. Now, Pokemon Legends Arceus doesn't play exactly like your traditional Pokemon game. It's not an open world, but it's more like you go into a massive zone and catching Pokemon that's there. Catching mechanics have been changed. Instead of, having to go into a battle to catch a Pokemon, you have to hide in grass or far away from the Pokemon and chuck a Pokeball at them without engaging them in battle. Now, you can still engage with them in battle, and that's going to be what you're going to do more often when you have to fight Pokemon that are way outside your level rank and your abilities. For example, they have something known as Alpha Pokemon. Now, Alpha Pokemon are much larger, much stronger Pokemon that can literally kill you and somehow always carry Hyper Beam and Double Edge and Giga Impact, all that shit. I find it funny that Alpha Pokemon exist because they also net you a lot of EXP, they net you EXP candies, which are very vital in this game. Not only for your own Pokemon, but in case for filling out your Pokedex. And then they can just wreck your shit, I swear. But, as I said before, catching mechanics have been changed, exploration mechanics have been changed. Because this is probably the most open Pokemon has ever been. Like, really. In all Pokemon games, you just follow a linear structure. Sometimes you go off the beaten path, like, for example, in Johto, you have options to go to another gym before going to this gym, etc., etc. But with this game, there are no gyms. You're not even a Pokemon trainer, you're a Pokemon wielder. So there are no gyms to tackle. There's barely any trainers in the game to tackle. Creating your team is more of a survival instinct kind of thing rather than just you creating a team to battle gyms. You're essentially creating a team to survive out in the wilderness, in the wild, in a big open space. And while the game isn't the best graphically, because honestly, Legend Arceus could have been better graphically, but in terms of playability and fun and how much fun I have, I think Legends Arceus is a really good game. It changes so much about Pokemon, but yet doesn't change too much to try to deviate from it, like deviate too much that people wouldn't be familiar with it. That it's a really good balance. I love the way Legends Arceus tackles these big areas because you can go in, you find Pokemon that you haven't seen before, and on top of that, your Pokédex is different this time around. Instead of being like this little machine thing, little machine toy you get like in a notebook, and you have to kind of catalog all the Pokemon you find in said area, which I pretty much like that. You either have to catch a Pokemon several times, or battle it several times, or observe it several times, or stuff like that. You have to do it a lot of times in order to get a research level filled out, and your research level goes from 1 to 10 depending how many times you encounter that Pokemon in some way or observe that Pokemon in some way. And I kind of like that because not only it gives you an incentive to catch the Pokemon, it gives you an incentive to battle it, it gives you an incentive to watch it use certain moves, and hell, it's kind of cool. And I feel like this game is going to be a completionist nightmare. I swear to God, dude. And hell, even Pokemon behavioral patterns out in the overworld have been changed. Normally, you see Pokemon in the overworld, they do their thing, they walk around a bit. Obviously Pokemon really haven't been seen much in the overworld until Let's Go, right? You did see Pokemon Overworld before these games, but they weren't like actual like Pokemon walking around. Like, for example, you could see something in Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby, but they weren't exactly overworld Pokemon. It makes sense if you're not a legendary, and plus you have to kind of sneak up on them, like in Legends Arceus, but it wasn't exactly the same. But in this game, Pokemon are all over the place. They roam the overworld. They're just everywhere, right? They were like that in Sword and Shield and Let's Go, but they're not like... They're pretty much Pokemon who just, walked around, did their thing and whatnot. But in this game, Legends Arceus, Pokemon can just straight up attack you. You're going out, mind your own business. A freaking Shinx just like, hey, I'll whoop your ass. A Shinx just run up and attack you. And not every Pokemon does that. Hell, the Pokemon like Bidoof just sit there. They're chill Pokemon, and that fits what they are. They're just chill Pokemon. They're just, they're just dopey, just sitting around doing their own thing. And Bidoof will never attack you. And like, that's one thing I like about this game. It really emphasizes how much these Pokemon, mean to the world. Out here, every Pokemon has a special behavioral pattern. They'll either attack you, they'll either sit there, they won't even mess with you. Sometimes they'll attack you, sometimes they'll just start using moves. Sometimes they're far away, like someone like Paris. They're far away as shit, and yet still notice you're there. I don't know why Paris wants to attack on sight before you even see me, but yeah, that's a thing that happens. But I really like that because it makes you have to survive out in the wild. And plus, this game is more action-based. I can't really say much action-based outside of, dodging and trying to, get and running faster and stuff like that. The dodge mechanic is pretty much your most important thing in regards of you, the human player. And this is probably the most interactive Pokemon has ever been with a player character before. Because, yeah, you can dress up your character, you can do all the other shit. But like, this game requires you to survive out there. You're required to dodge attacks, run away, get on a ride Pokemon and get the hell out of there. You're just surviving, right? You're surviving and observing Pokemon, and I think that's a really cool thing. Oh yeah, I did forget to talk about one thing, and that's the noble Pokemon. So noble Pokemon are essentially just, I guess, your bosses of this game, where you have to essentially fight them by trying to survive. Now, there are like about 5 noble Pokemon in the game, 6, 7 if you count certain post-game stuff. But like, the noble Pokemon are eventually just giant versions of the Pokemon that are already there, and they're always constantly attacking you. So you need items known as bombs in order to like stun them real quick. It's like that's when Pokemon Legends Arceus becomes full action game, because now you have to throw the bombs at them. Basically, you're shooting them, and you have to dodge their moves and dodge their attacks and dodge any other behavioral patterns they have by just dodge rolling out of the way or just running out of the way if you're adept enough as that. And if you're able to stun them after they use a certain amount of moves or get enough bombs on them, you're able to send out your own Pokemon, get into various battles, knock their HP down, and stun them so you can throw more bombs. It's like a rinse and repeat kind of thing. And I like that because Legends Arceus takes on a more action-based approach that no Pokemon game has ever done before. Like, no mainline Pokemon game at the very least. No Pokemon game has ever done this more action-based approach. And honestly, I don't see it returning back into Star Vibe because that's just not how the game is. The reason you have to survive in this game, because Hisui is a cold region where people will constantly say the word die. You're gonna die out there. Everyone says that, mostly Silene, but everyone says that. You're going to go out in the wilderness and die. So you better be careful and you better dodge, and you better run away and all that shit. So Scarlet and Violet, I don't see it being that kind of game, but I like this action-based approach. It's not much you can do outside of dodging, but like there are some times where like dodging becomes very essential, and like taking advantage of invisibility frames becomes very, very important. So yeah, the noble Pokemon battles are actually pretty epic, and it's nice to see you're taking more of a character-based approach than the Pokemon are, because it's you. You're the one dodging all the Pokemon attacks and shit. Now your Pokemon, it's you. You're the Pokemon. You're the one getting your ass whooped. Hell, you're the one hiding in the tall grass, except the Pokemon this time. You're the one hiding in the tall grass ready to catch other Pokemon instead of the other Pokemon hiding in the tall grass for you to catch them. I like that. And I know this is pretty much the most player-involved Pokemon game ever, and I like that. So yeah, noble Pokemon battles are cool. There are some that are bullshit, but I definitely love learning the patterns of Pokemon trying to attack me and shit, and learn how to dodge roll and get out of the way accordingly. Honestly, I hope that when Pokemon Scarlet and Violet come out, which are coming out this year, which I'm shocked about. I want to talk about that for a little bit. Scarlet and Violet are going to come out this year. Even though Legends of Arceus just came out here in January, it feels a little weird, doesn't it? Like, it feels way too soon. Legends of Arceus barely had time enough to shine before Scarlet and Violet get announced. Now people are going to be focused on that instead of Legends of Arceus, which kind of sucks. They have been putting out content for it. They've recently put out a update for it. And I hope they continue to update Legends of Arceus as time goes on, because there are some quality of life things I want to fix. For example, in order to return to different areas in the game, because there's about, I think a maximum about 5 to 6, I can't remember exactly. I'm probably miscounting it. But in order to return to a new, in order to go to a new area, you have to return to the village and then go back to that new area. There's no way you could just fast travel from one area to another, which I would have loved that without having to go back to the village unless you want to. But I can understand why, because you have to talk to Professor Laventon, the professor of this game. You have to talk to him in order to, get your Pokedex evaluated so you can go back to the village. I get that, but I wish there was another way to fast travel. There's also another thing I wish that you have this place in the game called Pastures, and that's pretty much your PC. That's where all your Pokemon go after you catch them. And there's no way to organize the pastures because there's so many Pokemon that you catch throughout this game, and there's no way you can organize them. Yeah, you can search for them in like a little search bar in the pastures itself, but you have literally no way of organizing the Pokemon, and it gets kind of cluttered where just Pokemon just everywhere. You know what I mean? Like open slots and just Pokemon just like spaced out everywhere because you probably released some, or you probably just put some on your team and just have an empty slot there. Like it kind of sucks, But those are honestly my main 2 complaints, and also I would really wish the run button wasn't be able to press down on the Joy-Cons or your controller. I hate when games do that. That's a personal thing to me, but I really hate when games do that, when you have to press down in order to run. I really wish all games these days took a Minecraft approach and just when you play it on console, all you do is flick the control stick twice in order just to run. I really wish more games do that, because I swear to God, I hate having to press down to run. That breaks controllers. That breaks controller sticks. I do not like that. It's happened too many times to me in the past. I hate it. But yeah, but other than those complaints, this game is actually fairly solid. This game's difficulty it varies, right? Now, definitely every Pokemon battle you're going to get outside of one post game one, which I'm not going to talk about this episode, not talk about this video. Most Pokemon battles are actually easy, but the point of this game is not to have Pokemon battles. It's more to go out in the wild and research and observe Pokemon. So that's one thing. I like to have the occasional battles in to kind of spruce it up, and they do have a post game thing where you can battle pretty much not every major trainer in the game, but you can fight a lot of good trainers. Hell, especially a descendant of Riley with the Lucario from Pokemon Diamond Pearl. I kind of like that. Did not see him coming. But yeah, I really do like this game. I really enjoy this game. Honestly, I want to play it again. I've been playing it. I'm not even done yet because I still haven't done much of the post-game stuff yet. I know what the post-game stuff is about. I just haven't done much of it yet because I still, my brother's been playing it for the past 3 weeks, and I shouldn't have let him borrow my copy, goddammit. But yeah, and I really enjoyed this game, and I'm so happy that a lot more people are getting into Pokemon back because of this game. It really does shake up a lot of stuff. It has a good cast of enjoyable characters. It has very good music, honestly. One thing I love about this game, other than a bunch of other stuff, is the music. Because when you go into another area and you can just hear the music kick in, and then you go to a certain area in the game, it's like you hear the Internal Forest theme kick in, so you start to think, oh yeah, that's where Eternal Forest would be at years later, because Hisui is obviously ancient Sinnoh. So when you think about that, and you hear the music from the remixes of certain areas from Diamond and Pearl, you think, oh, so that's where they'll be in the future. And I kind of like that. Pokemon, obviously, you could tell a story with music. Obviously, other series do that as well. But I think Legends of Arceus does a better job at it with just the atmosphere. It's the atmosphere that you're already in. You're already walking around these areas, in these wide open areas, and you already tell that, someday Sinnoh will be here. But where will it be? And I kind of like that shit because the game tells you where these areas will be through just the music. And I really love that. I just really love that. I love that kind of shit. That shit makes me happy every goddamn time I think about it. It's like, oh my god, this is where Eternal Forest would be. Oh my god, this is where a certain route would be. Stuff like that. I love that. I don't know what else to say. there's a lot more I could say, but I don't want to make this video go any longer than it has to. I do like the starter Pokemon in this game. I do like the idea of them having different kinds of starter Pokemon instead of your usual, hey, we have new Pokemon for this region, for example, like Gen 5. Yeah, we have our brand new created starters for this region. We got our Snivies, we got our Tepig, and we got our Oshawott. But no, in this game, you have just different starters from different regions. You have Oshawott from Unova, you have Rowlet from Alola, and you have Cyndaquil from Johto. One thing I love is that the fact that they put Cyndaquil in this game, I love it. I love Cyndaquil. He's one of my favorite Pokemon ever, and I'm so happy that he got representation in this game. And I do love the fact that they have special Heat Sweep forms. I really like that they actually got new forms, but it's going to be weird because now they feel incomplete compared to the other starters. Because normally, when they do Pokemon games and they have a starter have this alternate form, for example, the first time they ever did that was what? Pokemon X and Y. They had a special Torchic you can get to become a Blaziken that you can Mega Evolve. But obviously, Sceptile and Swampert didn't have those forms. So when they Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, then they gave them Megas. So yeah, when they had they did the same thing for God, what's the game? Sword and Shield, where they had only simply Charizard to be Gigantamax. And I know Charizard got Gigantamax because A, is popular, and B, that was Leon's Pokemon. But when they bust out the Isle of Armor and Crown Tundra DLC, you were able to get Blastoise and Venusaur as Gigantamax Pokemon. So there's no way they're gonna have Heat Sweep Pokemon for, like, you know, the Unova line, the Alola line of starters, and the Johto line starters. I know they're not gonna have that, but they gotta have some kind of alternate forms that not look so weird. Because, like, Meganium and Feraligatr definitely need new forms, but I'm not gonna get to that right now. But yeah, I really enjoy this game. I really enjoy this game. There's a lot of more things I really want to talk about. How the menus are really easy to access because it's something I'm getting used to. Where you have to, like, press up to access your menu, or you have to press down to access the Pokédex. You have to press plus. Not plus. I'm trying to remember what it was called. You have to press minus in order to access the map. Like, it's a lot. There's a lot more buttons that Pokemon games just do not use that these buttons are actually using for, and I'm like that. The catching mechanics, as I mentioned before, are really good because all you have to do is aim the Pokeball at your Pokemon and just try catch it. And obviously, every Pokeball has their own various properties that work. For example, you have an item called the Heavy Balls, and you get evolutions on those Heavy Balls that, like, your heavier balls, but, like, you're able to catch heavier Pokemon. I never really Heavy Balls, but the fact that they exist is a good thing. You also get Feather Balls, which catch flying Pokemon from very far away, or if you're too far from a Pokemon you want to catch, you just chuck one of those. They're not that strong of Pokeballs. You know, something like an Ultra Ball, because Ultra Balls are really important. And on top of that, you have to craft your Pokeballs in this game. You need certain items like Tumblestones or various different kinds of Tumblestones. You need Iron Chunks and Apricots. And you have to craft your Pokeballs in this game. You cannot easily access Pokeballs in this game. It's really weird, but I like how they put more emphasis on the crafting aspect because you have to buy a lot of crafting tools in order to craft your Pokeballs, because those Pokeballs are like the most vital thing you're going to need out in the wild, because they're the things you're just going to need. You're going to buy a lot of Tumbling Stones, Tumbler Stones, Iron Chunks, and Apricots, or, you know, any other items for Pokeballs you need. And not just items, but you need to craft, like, other items, for example, like, you know, potions, hyper potions, you need to craft revives. Now, some of those items you just can get in the wild, and some you can buy, but they're the base level items that you can just physically buy. If you really want the good shit, you're gonna have to pay for it. And, you know, you can get money in this game that you just don't find money lying around. You can find items that you could sell for money, or you can get money from doing certain missions, or you know, just catching a certain amount of Pokemon and reporting to the professor, and he'll give you some money based on your job done. And you also get more money based on the rank you are, because in this game you are categorized by ranks. You start out as no rank or no star, and over time, as you catch more Pokemon, as you observe more Pokemon, as you fill your research rank, you get more stars, and you can get up to level 10 stars. Now, currently in the game, I'm level 9. I'm so close to level 10, but, you know, obviously I'm still behind on some things because I had to, you know, let my brother play this game, and that was probably a terrible idea because I'm so behind on shit. But yeah, like, honestly, one thing I do like about this game as well is that how they changed up the how you change up God, what's the word? How you change up effort values and stuff like that, because honestly, they have, like, these items called grit items, which are split into various categories. And you can get these great items with Pokemon to boost up their stats. It's not as very complicated as before as like IVs and EVs were. It's like actually simple. You just get these great items to your Pokemon and call it a day. And on top of that, Pokemon balance in this game is weird, like really weird. For example, you have moves called Agile. You can have moves that that if you are good enough with that move, you can either use it in the Agile style or the Strong style. Now, you are categorized by a move chart a la Final Fantasy X. And so your enemy takes a turn, you take a turn, sometimes your enemy have 2 turns, stuff like that. So like the turn chart, when you use your Agile moves or Strong style moves, it determines how much turns you have left. If you use a certain move in the Agile style, you have 2 more turns, but at the cost of, taking twice the PP and being a weaker move. But if you use a move in the Strong style, you have to move stronger, but it still takes 2 PP, and you have a chance of losing a turn to your opponent, and they'll have 2 moves. Honestly, I never really used too much of the Agile style and Strong style in my Let's Play. I never really got a chance to use too much of them. I'd use them quite a bit, and sometimes you will need to have a move done in the Agile style or Strong style many times in order to evolve certain Pokemon, because they changed up a lot of how Pokemon evolve in this game. But yeah, that's how the Agile move, Strong style moves work, which is kind of cool. I like the fact that Pokemon has a turn chart now. Like, that's something that's never been done, like, ever. So that's kind of cool. Like, it reminds me of Final Fantasy X a lot, which is actually kind of cool. But as I mentioned before, Pokemon evolution is different in this game. Since you can't trade Pokemon in the traditional sense of how you trade other Pokemon to evolve them, you have certain items that you have in this game that just pretty much do it for you. And I know Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are probably not going to carry this over, which bums me out, because I like the way they just centralize all the Pokemon in this game. For example, okay, there's Machoke. Obviously, Machoke is a trade Pokemon, so how do I get Machoke? Well, you have an item called the Linking Cord, and you can just buy that or just get lucky and find one, because Linking Cords are hard to get. And you can just, evolve it with the Linking Cord, boom, you have a Machamp, simple as that. And like, this is a shop in the game that you can have earn something called merit points. Merit points is when you go out in the overworld and you find satchels either left by in-game characters or people who are online who like pretty much died in their playthrough and they lost their satchel full of items. You just deliver that, boom, you can get merit points. And those merit points can you can go back to Jubilite Village and you can exchange those merit points. Granted, most of them are 1,000 and there's a lot of merit points, but you can exchange those merit points in order to get certain evolutionary items, which is actually pretty cool. Like, every evolutionary item is in the game, pretty much. They took into account of all that. You can buy Magmarizers for Magmar to evolve into Magmortar. You can buy a Protector to evolve Rhydon to Rhyperior, that kind of stuff. So that's pretty nice, and you can also get the Linking Cord, which is able to be used on trade evolution Pokemon, which I really like that idea of you not having to go out of your way to level up go out your way to evolve your Pokemon through like trading, because obviously Legend of Arceus is not a multiplayer Pokemon game. It is a single player full-on Pokemon game, and I really like the changes they had to certain Pokemon. There are some Pokemon that just have weird evolutions. For example, Quillfish. Quillfish can evolve into the Pokemon known as Overquill, but you need to use a certain move in a certain Agile style many times, or about 20 times maximum, in order to evolve it, which, again, as I said before, using the move in the styles take up more PP. So that's like, more back and forth. Like, oh yeah, I use a move a bunch of times for weak Pokemon, go heal that, go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Now there's an item in the game called Seed of Mastery, which can boost up the move to your desired level so you evolve the Pokemon easier. But the amount of times I ever tried to use the Seed of Mastery, it just never worked for me personally. I don't know if I'm just using it wrong or whatnot, but yeah, the Seed of Mastery never worked for me, so I kind of just gave up on that one. Another thing I do like about this game, I'm sorry, I'm just freaking ranting at this point, I'm sorry. But I really do like this game. I really do like this game, and I really hope some things carry over to Scarlet and Violet. Now, this game is not exactly an open world game. It's actually just split into various zones, which I like. It's not. I'm not clamoring for an open world Pokemon game, because honestly, I have no idea that's how that's going to work. But I really hope that the catching mechanics, the exploration mechanics, how Pokemon get traded, how certain evolutions work. I really hope that stuff carries over to Scarlet and Violet. Now, I know they're going to take away some things. Pokemon is notorious for taking away mechanics that just been in the series for too long. It happens every game. They always take away something, and what they replace it with is not the best alternative at times. So with Scarlet and Violet, I really hope they carry a lot from Legends Arceus. I really do, because Legends Arceus is actually a very good shakeup to the formula, and I really like this game. It's like, honestly, it's like pretty much my favorite Pokemon game that Game Freak has done as of this point. You know, again, I like all Pokemon games, but Legends Arceus is a really, really good one. So I really hope this carries over. I really hope all this stuff carries over. They've done moves pretty well. Like when you gain moves in this game, you just don't have 4 slots to use them in. You can just swap them out as you go. Like if I have a Typhlosion, for example, if I have a Typhlosion with the moves, Aerial Ace, Flamethrower, Shadow Ball, and Infernal Parade, I can just swap out one of those anytime I want without having to go to a move tutor. If I want to give Typhlosion something like the Hex instead of Shadow Ball, I don't know why I would, but hear me out. If I wanted to give it Shadow Ball with Hex, I could just swap it out. Like, it literally, all the moves your Pokemon learn are like in this little order, like this little list you can have. You can just have them at all times instead of having to go to a move tutor every single time you want to swap out a move. That's what I love about this game, and I hope Scarlet and Violet carry that over. I really do. That's one of the best phase Pokemon has done in a long time. That you don't have to go to a damn move tutor to change moves. You can just have them all at once. So instead of your Pokemon have 4 moves, you can just have Pokemon with any amount of moves you want. And on top of that, the move tutor in this game, you can talk to her, and then you can have like egg moves taught to you as well, which is actually pretty cool. They have to find, because you know you can't breed Pokemon in this game. Honestly, breeding Pokemon in this game, I kind of just don't even miss it. I don't even recognize you can heal. I don't even think about that. I don't think about it, you can't breed Pokemon in this game anymore because you can just catch anything you want. So yeah, but yeah, having the moves being streamlined like this, you can just have it anytime you want. It's awesome, love it. But yeah, that's all I really want to say. I really love Legends Arceus. I really enjoy this game. I really enjoy seeing the descendants of certain characters in this game. I really love the fact that you can look at certain descendants in this game and automatically know who the character is they related to. You can see various characters like, oh, that's Gardenia's ancestor, or that's Candace's ancestor, or that's Mars from Team Galactic's ancestor, you know, stuff like that. I really like that. That's pretty cool to me. But yeah, I think that's it. Legends Arceus is a damn good game, honestly, really good. It's not the best graphically, but for what it makes up in graphics, it really makes up in gameplay and just a lot of other shit that just makes the game really fun and enjoyable, and honestly makes it one of the best things that Game Freak has done in a while. Again, I love every Pokemon game. I don't hate a single one, but Legends Arceus is definitely a massive shakeup that I really hope carries on from here on. So, without further ado, guys, I'll see y'all next time. Peace, everyone, and I hope all you guys have a great day. And if you want to play Legends Arceus, if you want to play Pokemon for the first time, you want to get back into Pokemon, I definitely recommend this game. It's hard for me to recommend Pokemon games because, you know, it depends on who wants to play these games these days. But if you really want to play Pokemon and you really want to get into it the very first time, Legends Arceus is your best shot. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention was the space-time distortions. Now, a space-time distortion is this phenomenon that happens as you're walking around the overworld. You can get a notification that says, hey, a space-time distortion is forming. So you go in the overworld and you see this big rainbow spear that's like covering a certain area. So you go around there for a bit and you wait about 5 or so minutes, and then boom, this distortion forms and Pokemon from various timelines and dimensions will show up. For example, Porygon. Porygon is a man-made Pokemon that was made obviously with technology and doesn't exist and literally can't exist in the time of Heat Suite, but because of the space-time distortion, Pokemon like Porygon can exist in this timeline, which is actually pretty cool. A space-time distortion is also only way you could probably get certain variants of Pokemon. For example, Sneasel. Now, Sneasel has a Heat Suite variant, but I think the only way you can get its original self, to get Weavile, is to have a space-time distortion active, which is gonna suck if for certain Pokemon can get in there, but once the space-time distortion forms, you better be ready and get your ass down there, because that's, again, it's important, and a lot of Pokemon can be found in, and a lot of items like Stardust, Comic Shards, regular shards that you can get, that you can combine with the Stardust to craft Comet Shards to get a lot more money that way, which is actually pretty cool. I would recommend just don't sell your Stardust, just hold on to it so you can get more shards and convert that into Comet Shards. Definitely it'll come in handy. It'll come in handy, especially when you need money. So yeah, just based on the source is actually pretty cool. And I like how they tied the idea of like, you know, Sinnoh's whole deal with time and space into that. So you can catch Pokemon you never normally would be able to catch. I love that. And another thing I wanted to talk about briefly was Pokemon Outbreaks. Now, it's exactly what it says on the title. It's an outbreak of Pokemon in a certain area. And with a recent update to Pokemon Legends Arceus, you can actually catch Alpha Pokemon in Outbreaks. Now, I haven't personally encountered one of those myself, not the Alpha Outbreaks, but I've encountered Pokemon Outbreaks, and you can actually go out and get an easier shiny Pokemon if you get lucky enough in the shiny parts. I was catching a bunch of Happiny, and I managed to catch 2 shiny Happiny in an Outbreak, which is actually pretty cool. Now, I really wish I could find Outbreak of Pokemon I haven't seen before, but you can get shiny Pokemon easier, and plus, again, the more Pokemon you catch, the more money you earn. So, you know, Outbreak, if you catch a lot of Pokemon there successfully, is an easier way to get money, which is actually pretty cool as well. So yeah, you get shinies and money if you get lucky to find the Outbreak. It's just, you gotta find a really good Outbreak, because I seen one Luxray Outbreak, and that was a pain in the ass, let me tell you. I swear to God, so many Luxray, so much crap to deal with, I hated it. But yeah, Pokemon Outbreaks is pretty cool. I hope this stuff translates to Scarlet and Violet. I'm not gonna make this whole video about that, but I hope that translates over, because a Pokemon Outbreak is actually pretty cool, you know? It's a really cool way to catch Pokemon you haven't earned before, and if it earns you some money in Legends Arceus, this is all good with me.